pour.
That's right. So this is the second pour, right? So this is where we continue a review of a whiskey we reviewed on a previous episode, right? So we just finished our episode today on McDonald's, which, by the way, McDonald's is an incredible pop culture thing. If you haven't watched that episode, be sure to click on it right here, and you can learn more about how we initially felt on this before the second pour.
Yeah.
As well as our visit to McDonald's.
Which
was righteous. It was fun.
It was.
So in the meantime, today we are going to continue our second pour with
Ardbeg.
Ardbeg. You gotta say Ardbeg, right? Ardbeg.
It is
Ardbeg An Oa.
Yeah, I don't get excited about things very often.
Now this is an Islay single malt Scotch. Now Islay meaning this is the smokiest area.
Yeah,
peatiest area of Scotland.
It's what they do. I mean, you can get more smoky.
Oh yeah, I think so.
But it's hard to get something that's as smoky with as much legs as this one actually ends up having.
Yeah, you know, it is interesting. I mean, the tasting notes, the palate notes, and the swallow on this is completely all over the map.
Because I'm telling you, this one is like makes me happy.
Now, I will tell you, this was my first time into. He just had a triple. This is gonna be a good day. So I will tell you, my first pour. This was the first time I've had really smoky scotches. So I've been kind of staying away from Ardbeg for a while.
Yeah.
And so I thought, all right, we got to do an Ardbeg episode. I know 10-year tends to be the one people gravitate to the most. So I thought, okay, well, let's do An Oa, because I've heard a lot about An Oa. I heard it's really good. It's really smoky.
Yes.
But it's got a lot of flavor palettes all over the place.
It's very complex. If you were trying to dissect all the different aromas and flavors you pull out of it, you could have a list of 20 different things.
And that's the great thing about Scotch. So Scotch tends to be that way. Scotch tends to have a greater amount of tasting palettes, right? Yeah. Way more different flavors and variances. And so that's what makes Scotch Scotch. I mean, bourbon tends to kind of hang out in its own little area.
Right, bourbon hits a point.
And it stays in its little sappy place, right? But Scotches tend to kind of bounce around a lot. So
Scotch is a experience explosion. So
let's smell this again. Now I will tell you, when I first smell it, I feel like I just walked into a Goodyear.
Okay, I can understand why you say that.
You smell that, right? It's kind of a rubbery.
It's the oily. It's the
like
deepness.
a new rubber smell, right?
Yeah, but then you also, if you can just waft it, you get a butterscotch, a sweetness.
I agree. There's a butterscotch just like right on the back of that. You know what I mean? Just on the back.
Yeah.
And then there's a crap ton, and I gotta put this with a big quotation marks, crap ton of smoke. So it feels like I just stuck my head into the grill.
Yeah.
Charcoal grill. So you lifted the lid, you stuck your head in there, and then you closed it.
Yeah.
I mean, that literally is the smell. So now on taste. I really feel like the taste kind of, the smoke backs up a little bit.
On second pour, because you had your first pour.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to tell you, second pour, the smoke is not the predominant feature.
No.
It's that earthy, peaty, and then the flavor.
The peatiness is not as strong as I expected it to be for this scotch. So I expected like peat to just punch in the face.
Right, okay, right.
It doesn't punch you in the face. It's a little more subdued. The smokiness of the peat itself, so the smoke flavor is what really is the punch in the face.
What people like about smoked meats.
Right. That's a good way to look at it.
That flavor that they like about the smoked meats is you do pick this up in this. But at the same time, it doesn't end there. You have the complexities of multiple flavor palettes, and I'm suggesting we do a little drop of water.
Oh, let's do that.
We open it up, a little bit of water, see how it changes.
We just happen to have that over there.
We did prepare it.
Now we need to be able to drop that in. Let me get a straw.
Let's do it. I will tell you that when it comes to fine whiskeys in general, there are cut aboves. And with Ardbeg, I would definitely put this at a number 1 or number 2 on the 5 scale. Now, again, I started drinking whiskeys with Scotch.
When he was like 2.
I didn't have American bourbons of any degree until Oh yes, 2 more.
I'm trying to get in. I don't want to.
There it is. There.
You don't want to overdo it.
1 or 2 drops literally will change the entire flavor.
Yeah, you don't want to go crazy with when you're adding water.
Yeah.
What it does is pushes that oil to the top surface. So when you take your next drink, you're getting more of that tannin.
Yeah. See, I'm so excited. Oh, and it smells differently.
Yeah, it'll smell a little differently.
Like,
because what it's doing is pushing that oil down and bringing the whatever the top surface oils are.
oh my goodness.
Now,
Where's the smoke?
the smoke's gone.
It is gone.
That's right. It kills the smoke.
That and then the
Now it
back
becomes
end.
a regular Scotch.
But then the back end, you start picking it up slowly.
Yeah, and at the back end, you're tasting bacon, ham, those really meaty, smoky flavors. And the reason why when you say that, it's not necessarily you're really tasting bacon and ham. I think your memory is picking up that smoky flavor that you pick up when you first take a bite out of something like that. It does kill the smokiness, but it also kind of dropped the pepper level just slightly enough. Normally, sometimes you put water on something like bourbons, it sends a raise.
Yeah, I will tell you straight up, like a 3-star alarm. If you're drinking this Scotch and you add a little bit of water, you're gonna drink too much Scotch in a short period of time.
Yeah, you're probably right. Now, I could think about this. If you're sitting around in your backyard and you're doing some grilling and you take this bottle out there, there's a high probability you will finish half this bottle before you're done grilling. And then after you've burnt all your food, because you drank half a bottle of Scotch,
I tell you what,
you'll be okay.
If you're on a YouTube channel and you have this bottle, there's a high probability that you will finish this bottle before you finish the show.
This could be an interesting day.
I'm telling you what, the only problem with McDonald's at this point was that we couldn't take
this with us. You know, the plus side is that we got back.
Okay, but on your 1 to 5 scale.
My 1 to 5 scale.
I want you to be completely honest. You may not even really dig this.
Here's how I put it. I wouldn't drink this as a daily drinker.
Okay.
But I would want it in the cabinet because there are days when you need something that is completely different than what you normally have.
Yeah.
I would dare say that if you don't even pick an Oa, you have to pick a form of Ardbeg. They even have a 5-year out right now. That's kind of a wee bestie. Wee beastie. It's a 5-year. They only have it for a limited time, we think. Even that. So something that pushes you away from your happy, comfortable spot and pushes you in a place that really push your palate flavors. Because the plus side to trying different types of whiskey and scotches is it gives your palate room to grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So not to have something like this in your cabinet would be a mistake because you need that room to grow to really enjoy the stuff you really love.
Yeah, well, I was telling everybody while you were finding our water, etc. I'm putting this at a number 2.
Woo, that's high.
Because I know that I am a American bourbon drinker after having so many different whiskeys. I mean, I really am. But there's very few American whiskeys that make me smile and get excited to drink them as this does.
We're getting ready to do a donut episode, and I'm giddy about shooting that donut episode, but when we pulled this out, I thought he was going to skip, jump, and do leaps for joy just to be drinking.
The only reason why I'm not putting this as a number 1
is because you know there's some really good stuff out there.
There's some good stuff out there, and I don't want to ruin number 1 for something I haven't seen.
Yeah, but think about this. Would you keep this in stock in your cabinet?
Dude. Absolutely.
So, I mean, for me, I think for me it's between a 3 and a 2.5.
Oh, well, that's a high score.
That's still a high score. I'm still keeping this in my cabinet. If I run out, I'm not freaking out. But next time I'm at the liquor store, I'm probably going to pick it up and put it back in the cabinet. Because, like I said, this pushes you into a range of whiskey that we all should, if you're a whiskey connoisseur.
Yeah.
If you love whiskey, I mean, clearly you must if you're watching a review on it right now.
Absolutely.
Then you should have stuff like this in your cabinet to continue to expand your appreciation of whiskey itself. So, I mean, I think it's an incredible whiskey.
Yeah. So if you are a fan, let us know. And if you are a fan of this, but you think there's something better.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
I would love to hear it because, and I want constructive information here. I want to know what you think is better.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I frequent a couple of Facebook groups And there's the cult of Ardbeg, and there's people on there, they swear by cult of Ardbeg.
Right.
But then there's Lefroy guys, and they'll get in there, and they get in this big argument about Lefroy Ardbeg, and you're just sitting back watching, drinking your bourbon, going, these guys are like crazy. But then you can see it when you try it, and you're kind of like, I can see why, because it's so different.
Yeah. And
people tend to gravitate to stuff that is different.
Yeah.
And I think that's what works for this.
Price-wise, do you
Price-wise,
feel like
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's around $40, $45 for this bottle.
Dude, at that price range.
That's a mid-range Scotch. It's anything above $20 on a Scotch, you're probably getting into a pretty decent range of Scotch. When you're getting above 30, you're really getting to some decent ranges for daily drink stuff. I mean, there's Scotches that are hundreds of dollars that are way better than this.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna straight say it. This is more enjoyable for me to drink than Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Yeah, and I think people tend to grab Johnny Walker because it's Johnny Walker.
Everybody knows it, of course.
It's the same thing in bourbon world where you buy Jack Daniels or you buy some Jim Beam.
Blue Label's 3 times more expensive.
Yeah, like $200.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, this is definitely a way to go. So I would say if you haven't gotten into smoky scotches, and it was a good way to go. Or even the Wee Bestie 5-year or the 10-year, all those are usually readily available on the shelf. They all range about the same price, honestly. I think Ardbeg 10-year usually hits around $50, $60. So
yeah, you should be able to get these kind of scotches, this kind of quality, this kind of perfection of the tasting notes for under $70.
Yeah, and like I said, you shouldn't have to break the bank to get this. And it's not hard to find. It's not rare.
Now, if you'll notice, we've already took this bottle down quite a bit.
Zane's already drank half this bottle, so I'll have to go buy another bottle in the near future.
It will go quick, so maybe it's not as economical as we were mentioning.
It's not economical whenever we're doing whiskey reviews. So in the meantime, you know what? You guys continue to be cool this week, and we'll see you next week with our next whiskey review, right?
Yeah.
So hey, cheers.
Cheers to you guys.